All right. What's going on, party people? This your man Griff on a wet, rainy, cold, overly soggy day out here in Virginia. Got 3 house inspections I got to knock out. Just exterior before my 2:00 appointment. Got a 2:00. What the heck is it? Loan mod. Got a quick 2:00 loan mod, $55. I think 20 some pages, not that many to sign off on. I don't even know. I think maybe 2 notarizations actually in there. So, as I always said, the loan mods, people, they having financial problems and they need that loan mod, that loan modification so they don't lose their home. Knock that out today, and then I got another one at 5. But I just want to say again, thanks everybody. I just realized I hit 3,000 subscribers. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Y'all have been great, very encouraging. It's been fantastic talking with y'all, seeing the growth, seeing everybody move forward, see everybody doing their thing. My lady Ty out there in Las Vegas finally got her first order. They wound up not being able to do the signing after she got there because the some of the numbers was wrong. But she still got the order, and that's what was important. And in this business, you'll get orders and stuff will get canceled while you're at the table and all of that. But if you got the order, you got to the table, printed the docs, all that, that's really what counts to start off, because you went beyond the notification phase and now you're actually doing it. And in that process, you're learning something. So there'll be many, many other assignments where you'll be able to get in there and get the whole thing done. And there'll be other ones like what she had where you get there and then there's a problem. And a lot of times they're able to fix the problem real quick, and then in some cases they can't, and you actually have to cancel. And then for as what you get paid, depending on the company's business model, they'll pay you the whole fee, the original fee, and then you go back out there and do a return trip. Or sometimes their business model is that no matter what, and there's a couple of companies out there that's like that, and I can't tell you who they are off the top of my head. There are some out there that's like, no matter what, all we're going to do is pay you a trip and print fee if you didn't finish the order, no matter what the reason. So they don't care. They're not going to pay you the full fee. That's just how they are. So I'm very happy for the success of many of you. As I've said over and over again, you just got to get out there. And it seemed like I've talked to all 3,000 or so of y'all. But you got to get out there. I'm serious. I know a lot of people are confused right now. They're looking at, this document presentation and want to be able to present and want to be able to answer questions. I'm telling y'all, and I'm gonna put myself out there with this here statement. You really don't need to do all of that, because if the person who you're in front of is somebody who has done refinances before, they know what they're getting into. They know what they're doing. You just got the documents 30 minutes or an hour before meeting with them, and you're in Texas, and the documents is something from California or something from Nevada or something from Montana. And the lender could be Wells Fargo, Bank of America, could be the Loan Depot. And they have a whole different way of doing documents than the companies in Texas. And then you're sitting here looking at these documents confused because you've never seen some of these things before. They have verbiage in there and statements in there that you're not familiar with, and then you're going to try to sit here and fuddle through trying to explain the document, you'll be best off sharing what the title of the document is, letting the signer read for themselves. And if they have any questions about something that's in that document that they don't understand, then you contact the signing company or the loan officer. And a lot of times I tell them, say, call your loan officer. And every single time, even yesterday I had a signing, the lady was tripping over 38 cents. It was 38-cent difference in something from what they gave her to what I presented to her, and she was livid over that. And I had to contact the loan officer, and he sat down, on the phone and talked with her. And then me and him was texting because I worked with him before. And when I texted him, said, hey, so-and-so got this issue with the closing numbers. Can you give them a call? Not even 30 seconds later, he's calling them. And then after he had a conversation with them, he texted me and said, hey, thanks for your help. Really appreciate it. Because I'm telling y'all, the majority of these loan officers out here, they want to handle their own business. These settlement companies and title companies, they want to handle their own business with the customer. Why? Because they have a relationship with them more than you do. You are just meeting them for the first time. And I get the whole concept of this professional thing of I'm going to present the documents and show you where your escrow stuff is and your escrow breakdown and all of that. That is nothing wrong with that. But when you start trying to explain certain documents and you've never seen these documents before, because and maybe what I'm learning is that a lot of people think that every single loan document is the same from every single company. And that's not the case. And there's a lot of variety. Now, after over 920 some, maybe 930 loan closings, I'm in a better position to explain certain things because I've seen a lot more and I'm much more familiar. But in the beginning, I couldn't explain nothing. And I don't care how much training you take from whoever, you are not going to be ready when you get a Wells Fargo document or a Bank of America or a WFG. They're way different than a lot of these other companies. I'm telling you, Boston National Title, they got stuff in there that I'm like, okay, I don't even know how to explain. Solidify, their documentation, their title documents are way different. So you're sitting here trying to explain, this title insurance document that they have that's 5 paragraphs, that's on legal, that's 5 to 7 paragraphs long, and you're trying to, okay, well, let me explain this to you, and you don't even know anything about title insurance. And you say, well, just give a general overview. Some of them documents, when you look at them, it's like, okay, how do I give a general overview that this is what this document means in general? And in order to do that, that means you have to actually read the document and you have to understand the document so you can give a summary of what the document is saying. And if you're trying to do 5 to 7 signings a day from various different sources, that makes it a little difficult. Now, if you're working direct, yeah, you can do that because you got this one client, maybe 2 direct clients, and all the documentation is the same. And after a while, you get very familiar with it and you understand it and you've learned it. But starting off, if you're not direct and you're working with multiple signing companies and then they got multiple clients, you are in a world of fluctuation because each thing is different. I've done loan docs, refinances that have been 180 pages, and then all of a sudden from the same company, the same type of loan, it's 85 pages. Have no reason why. Don't know why. But that's just the way it's been. So come on people, keep driving. I'm very encouraged by the steps that many of you have taken, but I need y'all, and you need you. And when I say I need, because I want y'all to be successful, you need to go ahead on and take the order. Take the order. Find you a notary that you can call on. You can call me if you're at the table and you stuck on something, and many of you have. But you need to go ahead on, take the order, and at minimum, when you're in front of them, you share what the title of the document is. You let them read the document. If they have questions about it, what I actually say to them is this: tell me what you don't understand. What don't you understand about what you just read? Because it's their document, it's their loan, it's their money. So when you read this, sir or ma'am, what didn't you understand? Well, I didn't understand ... Then you can read it. And if you can understand what it means, and if it's not considered giving legal advice or outside of the scope of what a notary is supposed to be doing, then you can share with them. But even after you read it and you still don't understand it to a point to help them understand it, then the next step is to call the signing company, title company, loan officer. It's that simple. So that's why I say it's not difficult to do these loan closings if you just breathe, relax, and ask them what you don't understand. Because they'll say, well, explain this to me. Okay, to explain something means I have to clarify something you don't understand. And if I don't know what you don't understand, then how can I clarify it? And if they're like, well, I just don't understand none of it, I'm calling the loan officer. Bump the dumb stuff. You tell me you don't understand none of this? No, I don't understand this. I don't even know what this is about. Let me get the loan officer on. Mr. or Miss Loan Officer, Earl Hill said he doesn't understand anything about this document at all. He's completely, totally confused. Can you please guide him and help him or her or them understand what they are signing? Because they said they do not understand. They don't understand why they have to sign this document, so forth and so on. So can you please help them? Now, as I've shared in my early videos, the benefit in doing that and pulling in the signing, the title, the loan officer, you then learn something about the document. Because you hear them explain to them, and I always ask them, say, put them on speaker, or I'll call them and get them on speaker so I can hear the conversation. And then they say, hey, this is what this document means, Mr. and Mrs. Jones. It means this, and this is the purpose of it. Well, I don't want to sign this document because there's nothing filled out here at the top. Not a problem. Let me get them on the phone. Hey, they got a problem with signing this document because it has nothing filled out here at the top. Oh, okay, well, the reason why is because of this, and this. Now, at that point, once the signing company, title company, whoever says the reason why this document is blank at the top is because of this reason, that, and the other, then Mr. and Mrs. So-and-so got to decide, okay, let me decide whether I want to sign this. Now, many of you right now are saying, well, no, I was trained, you got to fill that out. And some companies will say, well, no, that's the notary's job. Is it the notary's job to know what the title number is and where that's at? And you can find that. I mean, you may be able to find that survey number, but sometimes when I've talked to them, they say, oh, well, no, we don't even have that. Or there was no survey, or there was no this, or no, we didn't include that in the package. So sometimes that information isn't even in there for the notary to, quote unquote, do themselves. So if they're confused about something, I get the loan officer on the line. I mean, and I have yet found a loan officer, know what I'm saying? A loan officer that did not appreciate me deferring to them. Are there title companies and signing companies that will push back and get mad at you as a notary and say, well, why don't you know this? Or what? Well, other notaries feel, I ain't other notaries. You know, because those people at that level sometimes, they're busier and they want to push some of the work off on the notary. And I get that. But if you don't empower the notary to have all the information, or let me know up front that, hey, this here information needs to be filled out at the table, because there was times where I filled out stuff and then they turned around and said, why did you do that? Well, it was blank. We didn't tell you to do that, did we? Well, no. Okay, don't do that again. Okay, gotcha. So that's where your communication level comes in with the people who you're dealing with. And if you get documents and there's stuff blank, as I've shared with many of you, just go ahead on and call them and say, hey, this document is blank at the top. What's the deal? And then they'll tell you. And then you'll be like, all right, cool, got it. And then you can tell the customer. But then what happens when you get a document and you never worked with this company, you never seen this long set of docs, and there's all these things that's blank at the table, you're going to have to call and get answers. Now, everybody who's trying to get these signings done in 15 minutes or less, you got a decision to make. Am I going to call and get some clarification on all of these blank spaces on these documents? Or am I just going to have them sign and keep going? Because if I'm trying to get stuff done in 15 minutes, 30 minutes or less, I don't have time to call and get answers, because that's going to take time. And that's going to delay me. So if I'm already booked at 8 o'clock in the morning and I got a 9 o'clock and I know I can get there by 9 o'clock if I get this done in 20 minutes, and now I got to call the loan officer because there's stuff on here that's not filled out and the customer doesn't want to sign it, and I can't answer the question of why it's not filled out, that's going to delay me. So that's the dilemma that many of you have put yourself in by double booking and all of that and trying to do signings in 15 minutes or less. They got questions. Or you're doing those 15-minute signings and you're hiding the documents that don't have information filled out. You don't even let them see that. You're just giving them the signature page, and that's not what we're supposed to be doing. We're not supposed to just be, here's a whole stack of signature pages, sign all of these, and they don't get to see what the heck it is. This is their money, these their documents, so forth and so on. And that's probably why some notaries don't give the people a copy. Because if I give you a copy and then I hand you a set of pages, you're going to try to figure out what's this page goes to, and you're going to start looking through your copy. So that's why probably a lot of notaries will email the borrower's copy, which I can't think of too many companies that agree to that. So they say, don't email them the document. You hand them the physical copy. But if I don't want them to be fumbling through the copy, then guess what? I'm going to email it to them after the signing. Not before the signing, after, because I don't want them fumbling through the paperwork and then realizing that, oh, well, there's this question, there's this question, there's this question, because that's going to kill my 15-minute signing time. You can get stuff done in 15 minutes. Don't mean you have to report that you're done in 15 minutes. You don't have to close out. You get there at 9, you finish at 9:15. You don't have to close out at 9:16. You can still close out at 10 o'clock and make it look like you've been there an hour. Yeah, that's the game, y'all. So, again, thanks everybody. I appreciate all the subscribers. I really appreciate it, and I do love doing this here. I love helping y'all, and I see that it has been benefiting y'all, and I am truly amazed at the growth that many of you have had and are experiencing. There's one lady from New York. I'm waiting for her. I'm not even going to say her name, but she know who she is. I'm waiting for her to get going. It's time for her to get going. So you know who you are, Miss New York. Get going and get them signings done, all right? So y'all have a good one. Talk to y'all later. And again, thanks for the 3,000 subscribers, or over 3,000 subscribers. I really appreciate it, y'all. Peace.